Hey folks, Josh Alston coming at you again for Nerdcore News. As always, we're here at Frank and Sons, the Spider-Man booth 714 at Frank and Sons. I'm here with Jamie, and we have a great topic for you guys today. This man's got the insight we need for the upcoming movies and the inspiration for them. Jamie, what do you got for us?
Well, today we're going to go over some hot books that are based on some of the movies coming out. What we start off with is Tales to Astonish Ant-Man. It's Scott Lang. This is actually his first appearance in costume. This is what the movie is going to be based off of story-wise. We look forward to seeing that next year sometime in 2015 summertime. Next year as well, the next Avenger movie coming out is Age of Ultron. Very hot appearance is the main character, bad guy, is Ultron, which is Avengers 55. For those comic book guys out there, a very familiar book that right now is always heating up.
So, when they bring Ultron in the book, what is the basis for the comic? What can fans expect to see similar and different between the comics and the movies?
So, from what I understand, Ultron was actually designed and made by Ant-Man. The difference being is, from what I've heard, unfortunately, there's a lot of rumors and stuff out there, is that Iron Man is going to be the creator of Ultron. So that's one big premise that some people hate. They want people to be exact to the comic books, and some people like to see them actually expand and change the universe, you know, to more fit what they have going on in the movies themselves. So,
okay.
Next, right now, with the big Captain America movie out and S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, real hot book, first solo series, Deathlock.
One of my personal favorites.
Absolutely, and last week's episode and previous weeks, we got to actually see more of him as this looking character, more robotic, and it's interesting to see the evolution of this character on film. Later, I believe it's next year, is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
A lot of hype going into that movie.
Absolutely. This is actually, they had three first printings of this. This is actually the third print, but this is actually their first time in comic book. This is what the actual book looks like. Absolutely.
Huh. Now, I've heard, and I'm not sure of the validity of this, and let's face it, if there's anywhere you're going to find out the fact from fiction, it's here on Nerdcore News. I had heard that the Ninja Turtles started off as kind of a fan's commentary to comic books like Daredevil and things like this. Is there any truth to that, or?
From what I understand, the Ninja Turtles is almost like a gag book. It was more of just like the two guys that created it were more of let's just throw this out there. It was kind of just a fun thing, and it actually ended up being very, very popular and turning into what we have now today. Huh. So it was the first printings actually were just guys went on a copy. They just got a copier. They're only a single color plus black and white, of course. So for instance, this was just red. Everything inside is black and white. So you have yourself a very easy book that they created back in the late 80s.
Kind of like a homemade garage comic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The first 3-4 issues, I believe, were done this way until it really picked up. And that's why the very first printing is worth so much, because of the small print run that was run back then.
Amazing to see how far a joke can go.
Seriously. $1 million joke now. So later this summer we have X-Men coming out, and we have X-Men #1. This is 1963.
That is a must-have for any comic book fan.
There are major Silver Age or Marvel key issues, and this happens to be one of them. You have multiple first appearances, Magneto as well. Everybody seems to be excited because of the announcement that the Age of Apocalypse will be the next one to follow up. So everybody's already jumping on his first appearance. So overall, really key issue. If you see this, of course, somewhere in a garage sale, buy it.
Now, I'd like to point out something on the cover here for comic book fans who are used to seeing iconic characters in the way they know them. For instance, you'll notice here Beast is not blue, nor is he beastly. This is before he transformed himself, as well as Iceman with a very rough-looking, almost snowman look, as well as Angel with his classic angel wings. And I believe this is back when Jean Grey was still referred to as Marvel Girl.
Correct. That is correct. And you'll notice that their costumes are their primary yellow and blue versus what we see in movies today. Everyone wants to go black. So it's just in the 60s, this is what people were excited about and seeing on paper. And of course, today everybody wants the darker, grittier version of it. So
now you got a special one for us here and a little bit inside information. Why don't you go ahead and give us on that one?
So Jordan Lovett, a pretty famous actor, got with Neil Gaiman, which is a fairly famous artist and story writer, and he got the rights to do Sandman, the movie. They're actually in the process of building that up. This is actually Sandman #1. Very, very hot book right now. Incredible read. Honestly, probably one of the best story arcs created ever in comic books. So it's just, like I said, it's something that if you see it, get it, because it's going up in price.
What can you tell us about this character? Personally, when I think Sandman, I think back to one of the original Justice League member. He had the gas mask and the gun, and what is this new Sandman?
Well, this Sandman deals with death and dreams, so it's not so much of a hero-based capes, and it's more of death, dream world type area. So visually, it's on film. It could turn out to be something amazing, kind of like a Matrix type world,
like a
where
dark Wonderland.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's something completely off the grid of what we're normally seeing as far as superpowers and stuff like that.
Nice, very impressive. What else you got for us?
So the next thing is, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy. Everybody's really excited about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
The trailer seems to be a very big hit right now. Has really great humor. One thing they were worried about is introducing characters that unfortunately not many people know about. And they did that very well in the trailer itself, giving a very basic idea of these characters they're introducing. So one of them is Gamora. This is actually a variant issue that's extremely hot right now. This one actually is signed by a couple different artists on the cover itself. This is actually the character. She is, to give it a little history, she is actually the stepdaughter of Thanos. So Thanos ends up killing off her planet. She's the only surviving member of her species, I guess. I guess it'd be easiest to say. And so she becomes one of the greatest assassins in the Marvel universe.
Wow, well, when you have the villain like Thanos do something like that, it's definitely going to influence your future.
Absolutely. So one thing that a lot of people are starting to see and get really hot about is foreign comics. Comics themselves coming from other countries. We're starting to see an influx of people actually looking for key issues or just interesting issues from other countries. So what we have here is very iconic cover, first appearance Wolverine in a comic. This one happens to be first appearance Wolverine from Spain. This was the original comic book was 1975. This one's 1976. So only a year afterwards did this one actually get printed up. And as you can see, it's a much oversized comic. It's just interesting to see that people are starting to take notice of other countries and kind of embrace that those comics from those eras. So
very nice, very impressive.
So finally, we'll end with, of course, the next big movie coming out, Spider-Man. I mean, you cannot go wrong with Spider-Man.
I am waiting for that. I am really excited to see Jamie Foxx in this role as Electro.
Absolutely.
And the graphics look amazing. There's everyone knows that Electro's in it. Everyone knows that Rhino's in it. I'm not sure how many people know, though, that Green Goblin's going to have an appearance.
Yes. They're actually, from leaked information, Sinister Six, they're wanting to do a spin-off movie based around that group. They're talking about spinning off Venom as well. They want to create what Marvel has done with their universe. Sony wants to do that with the Spider-Man universe. So this is the first step towards branching off into seeing more of what the Spider-Man universe has to offer.
Gotcha. Nice.
So
nice.
with that, a very, very iconic cover. Can never go wrong if you find this, see this. Can never go wrong getting this book. This is actually the first appearance Venom. Very iconic key issue, number 300, Amazing Spider-Man.
Nice. Now, how much would something like this go for?
You would go for a very rough condition book would probably go around $40 to $50, and a gem mint would hit you back probably $700 to $800.
Wow.
So
that's quite an increase.
Absolutely. Condition always matters in comic books.
Now, if you had to, where fans are putting together, you know, a lot of guys, especially me included, like to read the books to inspire the movies because you get a lot cleaner details. You get to see the original imagining for the story. For those people, what books would you like, what full series would you say they need to get to really be able to immerse themselves into the movies, at least the way that they could be done?
So right now, like for instance, with the Spider-Man movie coming out, I would recommend Superior Spider-Man. That's what actually the new movies are based on. It's a very good story arc. It kind of reintroduces Spider-Man into a modern era. They always like to reinvent the characters to what we're seeing today with today's issues and stuff like that. So extremely good story arc across the board. Fairly inexpensive still today, and honestly, it's a good read.
Sir, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Always appreciate your expertise. I'm here with Jamie at Frank & Sons. Nerdcore News, Josh Alston, we're out.